The premiere firmly establishes a gritty 1930s New York City and introduces a world-weary, down-on-his-luck private investigator named Ben Reilly. The episode opens with a stylized look back at Ben's past, revealing that 5 years ago, he was the Spider, the city's costumed hero. However, his superhero days ended in tragedy when the love of his life, Ruby, was killed. Haunted by her death, Ben chose to abandon the mask entirely, completely flipping her final words to him. With great power comes great responsibility. To bitterly conclude that with no power comes no responsibility. He chooses instead to bury his abilities and live as an ordinary civilian. In the present, Ben runs a cash-strapped PI office alongside his assistant, Janet. Hired to track down a man named James Addison, Ben tails his target through the streets, but is violently knocked down by a moving car's door. Taking advantage of the stumble, rival investigator Patrick Donegal takes over the chase, cornering Addison in an oil storage area. Suddenly, supernatural flames ignite in Addison's hands and quickly engulf his entire body. As a burning Addison walks toward him, Donegal panics and shoots him dead. The fire from Addison's body immediately hits the surrounding oil cans, triggering a massive explosion that blasts Donegal through the air. Ben recovers, rushes into the smoke to pull Donegal to safety, and quickly lifts his wallet to uncover his identity. Later, journalist Robbie Robertson meets Ben and shares a major scoop. A rival mobster attacked the notorious crime lord Silvermane, burning his mansion and killing 6 of his men, though Silvermane survived. Robbie notices Ben hiding a photo and criticizes him for taking another cheap cheating spouse case. Ben admits he is broke and hasn't paid Janet in months, sparking an intense argument about Ben's abandoned heroism. Robbie pleads that since the Spider disappeared, Silvermane has corrupted the police and taken over the city, leaving New York desperate for a hero. Cynical and defeated, Ben responds that fighting is pointless because another mob boss will always take Silvermane's place. When Robbie asks what Ruby would think of his cowardice, Ben coldly snaps that she has been dead a long time and he no longer cares. Robbie later writes a newspaper piece subtly begging for the Spider to return and clean up the city. Desperate for a quick payday, Ben takes on a seemingly standard cheating spouse case. The assignment involves a client named Mr. Carmedy, who hires Ben to tail his wife. Ben tracks her to a hotel penthouse and climbs the fire escape to spy through the window. Inside, he notices an older man getting aggressive and rough with her. Just as the man is about to strike her, Ben intervenes from the shadows, catching the man's hand with his spider web before swinging away into the night. Shifting back to the Addison case, Ben and Janet corner Winston, the middleman who hired them, and hike the price for information to $200. When Winston threatens him, Janet draws a gun, and Ben sends a disarmed Winston back to his boss for the cash. Donegal secretly tails Winston back to Silvermane, allowing Ben and Donegal to eavesdrop on the meeting from a safe distance. Winston reports the shakedown, but Silvermane orders him to pay whatever it takes, desperate to find Addison because of his rumored powers. Afterward, Donegal is ecstatic about extortion, suggesting they demand $1,000 since they are the only ones who know Addison is already dead. Ben completely refuses to shake down Silvermane to ensure they stay alive, earning a laugh and a label of cowardice from Donegal. Ben returns to his office and tells Janet the lead was a dead end. Janet shifts focus to the newly printed photos from the hotel penthouse surveillance and notices a massive complication. The older man in the pictures is actually the mayor of New York. Realizing Carmedy is a fake operative trying to frame the mayor, Ben returns the client's money but keeps the photos. Janet berates Ben for throwing away their only cash. To clear their mounting debts and pay Janet before she quits, the duo decides to blackmail the mystery woman in the photos instead. Ben learns from Robbie that the woman is lounge singer Cat Hardy. At the morgue, Robbie is shocked to find that the body of James Addison has no burn marks, only bullet holes. Realizing Silvermane will soon discover Donegal is trying to extort him, Ben leaves a warning for his missing partner at a dive bar before heading to the Alcove to confront Cat Hardy. After watching her perform, Ben tries to call Donegal, unaware his partner has already been captured and brutally interrogated by Silvermane's crew. Before having his throat slit, a whimpering Donegal confesses that Addison had fire powers, prompting Silvermane to order a hit on Ben and a raid on the morgue. Back in the lounge, Ben attempts to negotiate a price for the incriminating negatives with Cat, but she introduces her imposing bodyguard, Flint Marko. Ben leaves a photo sample and departs, but Flint tails him to a high-up rooftop, initiating a brutal fistfight over the negatives. During the fight, Flint Marko's body unexpectedly collapses and literally turns into moving sand. Cat Hardy suddenly arrives at the scene to stop Ben from hurting him further. Terrified and shocked that someone else has powers, a shaken Ben willingly gives Cat Hardy the negatives for free and walks away. At the end of the episode, a furious Janet officially quits after Ben admits he gave the blackmail negatives to a lounge singer for free. Their argument is cut short when Cat Hardy walks into the office, offering Ben a $50 upfront retainer to find her bodyguard, Flint Marko, who has mysteriously disappeared.